This press conference, and we've got a written press release also which we will distribute to you shortly, is about the restriction and in fact denial of access to lawyers for Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who, as you know, is in Sungai Buloh prison. Now this is we are very shocked by the developments lately, where initially we didn't have that much of problems. Access was allowed to lawyers, even then it was limited to just 2 times a week. We were allowed maybe about 2 hours or so sometimes during interviews, and those lawyers who were in charge of the various cases were allowed to see him. Now, lately we have come across very disturbing development. The details are in the press statement, the dates on which these things happened. But Datuk Seri Anwar now has been limited to only 1 hour per week and 1 visit from legal advisors. Now, in the first place, this is against the law and this is against the constitution. A person, especially a person who is in prison, is entitled to free and proper legal advice from his lawyers. That means you cannot place unnecessary, unreasonable restrictions, particularly when they are in prison. It's when they need legal advice. In Datuk Seri Anwar's case, he is involved in up to 16 different, 16 different civil and criminal cases. Okay? And each of these cases, most of it are in the High Court, some are in the Court of Appeal, some in the Federal Court. Each of these cases have got many applications, many documents, affidavits to be filed. So, and this also includes some very serious applications, like the pending application in the Federal Court, where Datuk Seri Anwar is challenging his conviction by the Federal Court in February. That is also pending. Okay, now, let me give you a very clear example. This afternoon at 3 p.m, we are asked for myself, Saudari Latifah and Datuk Ambiga to meet with him, among other cases to also discuss the, to take instructions on his case pending in the Federal Court, his challenge on the conviction. This was refused by the prisons authorities. And to make things worse, the prisons authorities are now deciding which lawyers can go in, saying that Datuk Ambiga, who is part of the team dealing with the review, and myself cannot meet with him, and naming the lawyer whom they say they want to meet. So for us this is a completely unacceptable situation, because the right to consult a lawyer is a fundamental right. It cannot be interfered with by anyone, particularly not by the prison authorities. And as we know, the prison authorities are under the Home Ministry, which means the Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister, Datuk Seri Dr. Zahid Hamidi, is responsible for this. So that is why we have called for this press conference, because not only is this about Datuk Seri Anwar's right to legal counsel, but it is also a question of court proceedings. By preventing us from taking instructions, preparing documents, filing documents in court, it is also affecting the court proceedings. Because how are the court proceedings to move smoothly if we cannot take instructions and file court documents? So it's a very serious situation, and we are asking the question, why this kind of treatment for Anwar Ibrahim? Other cases, other lawyers can freely enter and leave. There are no special restrictions that are placed. Why these kinds of restrictions in the case of Anwar Ibrahim? And again, I give you the picture, 16 separate cases, and they give you 1 hour per week. It's impossible to deal with the cases. So that is why today our demands are clear. These restrictions must be removed immediately. And we want the Home Minister, Datuk Seri Zahid Hamidi, to respond and explain why this is being done. Thank you.